What the heck? I'm going to teach you all how to get a top voiceover agent. Stick around. Well, hello there, beautiful world. Paul Castro Jr. here, and while I got your attention, why don't you give a like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I would greatly appreciate it. So I know getting an agent can be one of the most daunting things to do. Everybody is trying to get one. Voiceover is one of the most competitive industries in the world. There are so many people who want to do this, and there's really not that big of a pool of people who are doing this at the biggest level. You know, the Hollywood of voice acting is actually, comprised of a lot smaller of a pool than the on-camera world, because most of those very famous voice actors like the Rob Paulsons, Tara Strongs, Kari Walgrens, they do multiple voices. So that's why rosters for voiceover agencies can be that much more competitive, because the person who's 75 years old, the Fred Tatasciores or the Frank Welkers, or all of these amazing actors, they're playing people who are still in their 20s and 30s. Now, not to scare you all away, I'm going to be breaking down some top ways for you to be able to get on the radar of agents or agencies or managers and get your foot in the door. So I'm going to start off this whole video with a quote that's going to be the umbrella for this whole video, and that is, be so good that they can't ignore you. I think Steve Martin said that. But it's so true that if you have the talent, if you are that good, number one, you should be that good to compete at this level. Like I said, you're going up against these celebrities for some of these parts. As soon as you get an agent, they're going to be throwing you in the mix. You have to be amazing. You have to be undeniably amazing at what you do. You don't have to do what everybody else does, but whatever your brand is, your style, the thing that makes you unique, you have to be amazing at that. So starting this off, you have to have your acting chops. You've went to school, you've taken classes, whatever it is, you are ready to get into the arena and show people, hey, I deserve my shot here.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Now, ways you could be doing that is investing in yourself, having your home studio prepared, having gone to top-level coaches, studying with known, renowned acting schools or acting teachers. As you've done a Meisner Conservatory, Atlantic, Stella Adler, Strasberg. You are a trained actor. You've got chops. You've worked with some of the best people. You've done one-on-one coaching with Charlie Adler or Bob Bergen. You've really made yourself competitive in this space. And also, the day you show up for that meeting with the agency, presumably, you know what your brand is. You know the shows that you should be on. You have a list of all the casting directors and producers and animation studios that you've worked with. You've got a website, a headshot, you have your demo reels, everything that you could possibly need, you have in order. The worst thing that an agent would want is to take on somebody brand new and have to wait for them to get all the things that they should have already so that they can start pitching you to prospective jobs. Great, so now that we all have that in place, you're ready, you're prepared, you're an amazing actor, let's go into the top ways that you can get the attention of these agents. First on the list here is getting in with that voiceover department through another department. So if you've been studying as an actor, right, you've gone to conservatory, you've studied in New York or LA or even, Atlanta, Chicago, any of these big marketplaces, it might be worth pursuing a commercial agent in any of those areas that you currently are. So if you are able to pursue a commercial agent, which they're looking for a lot more people, if you have a distinguished look, if you are a model, and you're able to get into the commercial department, start booking some work, making some money, showing this agency that you are punctual, on time, professional, you know what you're doing, you create a good relationship with the commercial department, you're then able to ask your commercial agent, hey, would you guys mind sending over my stuff to the voiceover department? And the biggest lesson from this that's going to go into the next piece of advice I'm going to give is everybody wants to work with people who they know and trust. And who is the voiceover department going to know and trust more than their coworkers in the commercial department? This also goes for the theatrical department, the print department. It doesn't really matter. I present the commercial because it's often the times they'll have the biggest rosters. So if the commercial department's got your back or any of those other departments and they've referred you over, they'll more than likely at least be able to get you an answer whether it's yes or no. Now this brings me to my second way to get an agent's attention, and this also has to do with that networking part. Is a friend referral. They're a professional working in the business doing what you're doing, and they aren't necessarily your type. So, they're doing just widely different characters than you would at face value. Then maybe ask them if they can put in a good word with you for the agent. If they're booking work and the agent trusts them, they're going to take that industry referral and get you into the door. If you don't have it already, sign up for IMDb Pro. You can look at all your friends or your acquaintances, your colleagues, people you've worked with before. You did a off-Broadway show at some point, off-Broadway show at some point, and you can look at that person, look at their representation, and see who represents them. And you can send that person a note. Hey, I was interested in pursuing this agency. They have an office where I'm living right now. I noticed your agent doesn't have many people that are like me. I was curious if you would send my material along. And that also goes for management companies. A big suggestion that is going to help you not only in this entertainment business, but in life is surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. Try to be the least talented person in the room if possible. Therefore, you only have to go up. People around you who are amazing at what they do are inspiring, it's encouraging, and if they're helpful, they can be a mentor. The more you can network with people who are doing what you want to do, the better chances at life you will have at doing that thing. So if you have the goods, people are doing agents a favor by giving them people who are talented. The worst thing, again, going to the first point I made, was if you're not ready and you're asking for referrals, you're already kind of ruining that first impression. And, first impressions can be changed, but it really does have an impact. If you're not a professional, if your acting isn't on par, if you don't have all of your material and you're asking for a referral to this agency and you're not ready, it's just going to make it that much harder to pursue them again when you are, because you're going to leave this somewhat image. Not all agents and people are like this, but it's going to have said, oh, that person wasn't ready. I hope they are now. You're much better coming at this, strong, to the best that you can do. You've put all your cards down and you've used all your resources and you feel you're ready. That's the time you should pursue an agent. Not when you're just like, all right, I kind of want an agent now, and that would be great if I could start making some money, and you haven't done student films or worked for free on these online web dubs that people make on like Voice Casting Hub, or behind the voice actors casting, people who are just trying to get their fan projects made. If you haven't put in your time, then why is this agency going to take a risk and put their time in on somebody who doesn't take their business seriously? The third way you can get an agent's attention is by getting a referral from a casting director or a notable voice director or an ad agency or a producer. All of the people who are making the executive decisions and putting money into projects or are bringing talent to productions are going to be a valuable resource. So, whether that means taking a casting director workshop class, there was a place you worked at with a notable producer, or the voice director on the project had worked previously on something or knows somebody, and if you did a good job for these people, whether in that class or on the project, getting a referral from them is going to hold so much weight, because they're taking risks by plugging all these people into projects or into an audition, that when they go to an agency, it's like, oh, great, you call them in? Then I know they're doing their job. That's going to be one of the best referrals you can have, is going like kind of direct to market. The fourth way you can get an agent's attention is by working with a very reputable demo producer. These people who are doing the pros voiceover demos, and they are extremely impressed at your work. These people who are making these demos, there is no one better at knowing when you are ready to go to market than a producer. Now, I'm not recommending you hound your demo producer to refer you and only working with them contingent upon them getting you a meeting or an interview. But if they are impressed with your work, I really don't doubt they wouldn't have a hard time putting that demo in the right hands. They're always getting the ears of agencies. They're sending their own clients to these people. So they're only going to give themselves more business with this agency by sending them good people who they think would be a right fit for. The fifth way you can get an agent's attention is by one of the most taboo things, but I still say, screw it, let's do it. Email. A lot of these agencies and management companies, they have forms or strict instructions on how you should contact them. Fill out their form, or we're only doing industry referral. But, like I said, if you are somebody who is so convinced you've gotten industry feedback from coaches, casting directors, like, man, you've got your shit don't stink, then it might be worth for you sending an email to these agencies who you know you would have a perfect fit for. There's nobody like you, or shows that you know you would be on. They have talent that's on those shows, so you know they have a good relationship with those studios. So if you know you're ready, you are able to find their email address through IMDb Pro or their website. Oftentimes, it's just their name, dot last name, or first name at their website address. So like Paul at paulcastrojr.com would be an example. If you're able to directly send to them and say, hey, listen, this is my name. I've done this. I won this award. I'm going to be on a new animated show that's doing this. I was just the voice for a huge Geico campaign, whatever it is. The most you can present to them, like, hey, listen, I'm kind of doing your job by myself right now, but I just want to give you a kind of the piece of pie, and you can bring more to the mix. They're going to be like, wow, this is somebody who I want to take a risk meeting, because they're already booking work. And if they're making money, it's kind of like a freebie for them to just take that meeting. But again, you have to be in a position where you are ready. You know that you're just not kind of like no credits, no experience. It's like you've done your diligence. Maybe you even have a manager and they're able to send that email for you. That would be even better. Management companies can be kind of like the gateway to agencies for most people, the same way getting referred through another department can be. And make that email look and sound good and be short and to the point. List the stuff you've done. List where you're at right now. Your home studio's in place. You've got Source Connect. This is my gear. I've got a Scarlett, a Sennheiser 416, and I'm ready to go. And last but not least, on how to get a voiceover agent's attention. And this is something everybody should be having in place and doing. And, TikTok's about to go down, so check out Byte. Where's the attention going to be next? Social media. If you're producing content that's not just voiceover, you've got a great following, there's no better way to show that you are somebody who's hot and a commodity than by having a large social media following, and if not large, but a loyal social media following, where you're putting out content of the voices you do, you're doing sketches, you're doing your impersonations. You don't have to be Meryl Streep, and you don't have to be the person of a million voices. You just have to be really good at being you. And if you're showcasing that on your social media and you're getting attention and you're able to create funny sketches and you can reach out to these agencies with either a verified account or an account with a large following, that's going to catch their eye. Most of the big agencies have social media accounts, so if you can DM them and say, hey, interested in representation, would love to get a meeting, and they go to your page and they see you have this loyal following, eventually down the line, a huge component of making a living as a voice actor sometimes is conventions. And if you've already got a loyal fan base, all we got to do is plug you into a spot, and then you'll be making a large amount of appearance fees. And that's very attractive for agencies to show other casting directors, other production companies, hey, people like this person, hire them. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Those are my top ways to approach getting a top agent. This can be from, the CESDs, the ICMs, whoever it is. If you're able to get in with one of those departments, get a referral, you have a friend, you took a class with somebody, whatever you can do to make yourself more credible and reduce that kind of unknown entry or unknown approaching to these people, the better. Now, all you got to do is get in the room and show them why they need to sign you. Wherever you are, be it New York, LA, Chicago, Toronto, Texas, it doesn't matter. I hope you guys are out there kicking butt, pursuing your dreams, and I'll be making another video real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.